Whoa, yo, what's up? Let me see. Turn off that autofocus thing. How to get a job in 2021. Coming from a guy that hates work. But I do know some things about getting work, even though I personally avoid work. This is a video request from Humble Person. And I'm going to try to keep this video Casey short. I had some video ideas about maybe just sharing my personal history with work and making money. It's strange. I had some other video ideas, maybe my philosophy about work, but I'm gonna keep this focused. Let's go. So, 2021, my first 3 points here were applicable in 1921, 1821. They'll be applicable in 2121, 3021. The first point is if you don't have a job and you want a job. I got this from some old resume book I bought back over 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I was in high school or something. First things first, if you don't have a job and you want a job, you have a job, your job is getting a job. And what do I mean by that? I mean, do it however you want to do it, but I'll give you an example. Let's say you treat your job search like a job. This means you can do it a number of ways, but let's say you every day at 8 a.m. or 8:30 at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. you start your job, and your job is getting a job, and you do job getting things. That could be refining your resume, that could be applying to jobs, that could be putting together a portfolio of work. It could be making you can make a website that has your portfolio and your resume on it. Your portfolio, you mentioned being an artist specifically for Humble Person, but if you're a writer, written work, if you're a web designer, websites you've done, whatever, doing, treating looking for a job like a job. So that's like, and you don't got to do it 8 hours a day. Do it an hour a day. Do it 3 hours a day. If you want to go hard, do it 8 hours a day. Do whatever you want, but you actually have a job. When you don't have a job and you want a job, your job is getting a job. So that's the first thing. Number 2, master the art of applying for jobs. And I think a lot of people mess this up. I know they messed it up back in the day. I'm sure they mess it up now. What you don't want to do, you can do this and it probably works, but I don't recommend it. What you don't want to do is have one resume that you just spam to 1,000 jobs. You don't want to do that, because it's going to be disheartening, because you probably won't hear from very many of them. And yeah, that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to take one resume and spam it to 100, 1,000 jobs, 100 jobs. When and this is under master the art of applying, you want to tailor make your, whatever you submit, your cover letter, your resume, a video. You want to tailor make it to each job. And, you can base it just off of what you see in their post. But, if you know what the company is, dude, take it a step further. I go do homework. I'll go to their website. I'll go to their LinkedIn. I'll go to their Twitter. I'll go to their Facebook page. It doesn't, I'm not talking about spending an hour doing this. Just it's 5 minutes. You just kind of go over, see what their company mission is, all that kind of stuff. And you absorb all that, and then you craft your response to applying. And the key thing about applying is applying to the job, you only have one goal in mind, just a single goal. And that goal is to get an interview. That's it. So if you feel like you can get an interview by writing them fucking one sentence, do that. If you feel like you can get an interview by writing them a haiku or a poem, do that. If you think you can get it by sending them a tweet, do that. Cool story about sending a tweet is a guy I know. I know this billionaire guy. I always forget his name. But that's not important. What is important is he's one of these hustler go-getter type dudes, right? Some people are like that. Maybe you're like that, maybe you're not. If you're like that, there's jobs for you that are like that. If you're not, you're not. Point being is he hustled hard, worked over at Foursquare for a while in Chicago, and he got hired at Uber with a single tweet. You know what I mean? Like, so don't feel like you have to go under this master the art of applying is deep. Don't feel like you have to go through the traditional, if you see the post on one of the job posting websites or whatever, you can just like send a tweet to a job or a company you think you might want to work at. Applying is, there's 1,000 different styles of applying, and figure out, what works best for you. All right, so boom, job is getting a job, master the art of applying, master the art of interviewing. And again, I'm not saying I'm a master at any of these things, but you don't have to be a master. You just have to be, if you're a master of these things, great. But you just level up a little bit in these departments. So I won't get into, a whole lot about, interviewing, but my point is go read some articles about it, watch some YouTube videos about it, get a book about it, educate yourself. All this work you're doing, this is part of your job is getting a job. You're reading articles about applying and watching videos about applying. You're asking weird people on the internet about what you should do. Like, these are all good things. You're sending email places, whatever. So, the whole point of applying is just to get the interview. And then when you interview, you want to make sure you interview well, you want to make sure you have questions about them. You want to make sure you don't, this is just one of these things you hear all the time. Is it true? Is it not true? I don't know. It's probably true, but you don't want to talk shit about former employers, right? Like that just looks bad. Anyway, boom, boom, boom. And now, what I have here on number 4, and this is, I'll give you some, now I'm going to get into kind of some more specific art, kind of work stuff. But number 4, I have be an awesome employee. And hopefully you're working for someone who is awesome. That would be great. Or at minimum, they don't suck. It's awesome working for someone awesome. Ideally, you want to work for someone that minimum does not suck. But the point about being an awesome employee is you can actually, see, a lot of people just work and they just do whatever they're told, or they're just doing the basics or whatever. But when you're working somewhere, you can make new jobs for yourself. You can promote yourself. No joke. You can, I'm sure this is true at McDonald's, but it's definitely true if you're working for a small business, especially remotely. I'm going to give you a story, a really recent story about what I did for being an awesome employee. But the point is when wherever you're working, it's more than just going above and beyond. It's more than just, obviously you want to do an awesome job at the roles that you've been hired for. But if you're seeing some weaknesses in other places inside of the business that will make them more efficient, that'll help them save money, that'll help them make money, work on those things, present those things, and yeah, you can, they'll be like, here's the thing, they're, right now it sucks, pandemic, world's closed, a lot of people out of jobs, whatever. So there's a lot of people, maybe even more than this, the story I'm going to give you wasn't during the pandemic, but there's probably a lot more people applying to remote jobs and everything, right? So, you might feel like, oh my God, it's harder to get work. And maybe that's true a little bit, but I'll tell you what there's always a shortage of are awesome employees. Ask anybody who has to hire anybody at any level, as a big corporate thing or just, mom and pop shop. There might be right now a surplus of people who want work. So, it might feel like it's harder to get work, but there's always a demand for people who are awesome, for people who are being awesome employees. They're going to do their job awesome and then constantly be looking for ways to make the business better. And you can do this at McDonald's, or you can hear my story. So my story, and this is a good story for just the path to, it has all the elements, right? So first one, your job is getting a job. I decided to use UpWork. I had some experience with UpWork. So I would go on UpWork. I would look for stuff that was interesting to me. Like you can, I think in the beginning you can apply to stuff that's not that interesting, but it'll like help get you reviews on Upwork or help you get some experience, like lower tiered writing jobs or whatever. I was on Upwork, saw a job for, I think he wrote something weird like social media wizard or ninja or something weird. So I wrote back something crazy and weird, and he responded to that. Did one interview with him. That went well. We were just talking about all kinds of stuff. Did a second interview with him, and he was like, "You know what? I'll hire you at, I think it was just $5 an hour or something real whack." But I was like, "Cool, like I'm down." But here's the thing, right? Like, so I think a lot of people would turn away $5 an hour. They'd be like, "Fuck that! I got to go find 10 or 15 or 20 or 50." You know, it might make sense depending on your experience and where you are in your work career and history. You know, starting at $5 an hour might not make sense to you. But for me, I had, you know, I wasn't, again, I could do another video about my work history. Like I don't have like a resume of stuff, whatever. I'm always doing weird shit. So starting at $5 an hour was fine with me. And he was like, $5 an hour, 10 hours a week or something, like just real low. And he was throwing stuff at me, and I did the 10 hours a week stuff, but then I just saw there was a lot of other stuff to do, and I just worked on other stuff that I thought would complement what he was trying to accomplish. And probably the first 2 weeks, I think and he didn't pay any attention. Like he was kind of starting this side business. So his main business was a WISP, a wireless ISP. Wireless ISP is out in the country. You do satellites, not satellites to the sky, but there's like a pole somewhere and it's fixed to point-to-point fixed wireless. So he had a company doing that, but he wanted to do the marketing for his company better. And then he had this idea of starting a marketing company that would, you know, help other WISPs, you know, do marketing. And it was this other idea thing that I worked on. He gave me some training I could go through and all this stuff, and I just started putting together all this stuff. You know, 2 weeks go by and he checks in with me, and he's like, "What do you got? What do you got to show me?" And I showed him. He was like, "Oh man, that's awesome. You can work 20 hours a week now." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Another week goes by. He's like, "Oh my God, this is great. Now you can work as much as you want," right? So I went from no money a week to, I mean, not infinite money, but I could work as many hours as I wanted to at $5 an hour. Not great. Maybe it was $10 an hour. I can't remember. I think it was $5. But by, you know, being awesome and working on more things, the 5 turned into 10 real quick. And then I got the 10 turned into 18. And then it could have kept going up, but during the process of this, and I'm going to make this point as well, but during the process of this, you know, I was making marketing material. I even I helped close some sales for his first clients. I was doing a lot of stuff, so it was easy to justify going up to 18, and I could have like kept going up. Like I like so. Right at the beginning of the video, you know, I said a video about getting work from a guy that doesn't like to work. Like, I like having free time, so the job started taking up too much time. And what I did before quitting was a friend here, I got him hired. I taught him everything that I was doing, and then he, like, dude's still working. Dude, this is like 2-3 years ago. I helped basically form a new business, starting out at $5 an hour. You know, got up to 18 and could have kept going. And I got a friend hired he's been working there full time now for like 3 years, I think it is, 2-3 years. Anyway, boom, be an awesome employee wherever you're at. And now, I mean, I should probably, here's some points. I didn't write these down, but some points I kind of missed that I wanted to, I guess it kind of makes sense throwing it in here. But something I was going to say under that master the art of applying is just some general tips. But dude, there's probably tons of tips. Again, read websites, read books, whatever. But one thing you can do is, especially if you're applying to a lot of places, is keep notes about applying and when you applied and whatever, so you can then follow up, a week later or whatever, like track that or track the interactions you have. And I was gonna say you do pen and paper. You could do it in a Google Sheet. You could use Trello, and I'm bringing up Trello specifically because I'm more I made the whole 2021 point, but I didn't say it right away. I'm kind of like focused on remote work, right? Like that's big now. What you want to do is master, or at least have a understanding of all the different remote work tools. Like if you're going to work for someone remotely, they're going to guaranteeably be using some kind of project management system. And if they're not, if you work for someone remotely and they're not using any kind of project management stuff, this is an opportunity for you to be an awesome employee. And you can be like, hey, I see you doing it this way. I think this way would work. I got really good at using Trello, Trello's project management software, but there's a lot of different ones. There's Basecamp, there's Asana, there's different companies use different stuff, but they all do kind of the same thing. And you want to understand how those work so you can work in there and be awesome. You want to like over communicate inside of, when you're working remotely because you don't have that office stuff, whatever. All right, that's enough. Your job is getting a job, master the art of applying, master the art of interviewing, be an awesome employee. Be an awesome employee or helping you get to the work part. Now, some specific things for a humble person, because he mentioned art, I'm jumping around a little bit, but because you mentioned art, actually, I'm going to come back to that. Some remote work things. Get on UpWork, get on Fiverr if you have some stuff you can do. Check out the remote working websites that list remote working jobs. There's like quite a few out there. I'll put some of them below. There was one cool site, I don't know how much it's used now, but it was specifically for internships inside of remote work. But again, and there's lots of, if you're an artist, there's websites for you to be on. If you're a writer, there's websites you should be on. If you're a programmer, there's websites you should be on where you can put your, you can apply to work and whatever. Get on those sites, register. That's all a part of your job, is getting a job. Now, real quick, some specific stuff. If you're an artist, like this is just what came to mind. Like this is something that I know I could do right now. I'm sure there's people doing it right now, but there's an app called Canva. Awesome app. It's what I've been using to make these thumbnails, but you can like make real cool looking stuff, real simple. Just boop, 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 boop. You could straight up take Canva and, you can take Canva, go on Fiverr, and on Fiverr be like, hey, I'll make you YouTube thumbnails. I can make Facebook ad images. You can list all this stuff and just straight up do the work in Canva and get paid. Like you can 100% do that. Oh, I guess I'll finish with this point right here. But that's just like a simple idea. But if you're an artist and you use graphic design stuff, whatever, get on Fiverr, go on UpWork, look for that kind of work, apply for that kind of work. And then when you apply, right, you can like do cool stuff where you do a custom piece of art specifically for that job. Man, it's hot in here. I'm sweating. Turn the AC on. There's another website. I'll put all these sites below, but like 99 Designs. Like I'm just familiar with it, but there's probably a ton of sites like this, to go play with. But just to give you an idea, 99 Designs is a website where if me as a business, I want a new logo, I want new branding. Like Tim Ferriss mentions it, like he has a new book out, he needs a cover. You go to 99 Designs, you explain as an employer, but then as an employee, you'll get the other side. But as an employer, you go there, you're like, hey, I need a new logo, I need new branding, I need whatever. And what happens is a bunch of people make a response to that. They make their own thing. and then the employer chooses, maybe 1, 2, or 3 of those to go on to the next step and then refine it, and then he eventually picks one. That person gets the money. Some people hate on this style of, and it makes sense from an artist perspective to kind of hate on it because you're like doing this work and you're not getting paid. But I think, especially if you're like your job is getting a job and master, like it's an opportunity to just practice your craft. If you're on a website like 99 Designs and you're doing art stuff, where you're basically getting prompts from employers and then you try to make cool shit. And I think that's just a cool way to stay, stay fresh. Something that just came to mind. Now I'm off the cuff doing whatever stuff, but that Beeple, I don't even know that much about it, but when NFTs and the Beeple dude, and he sold like $66 million, his NFT art thing went for $66 million, I think, somewhere else, whatever. But, and I think I got the right guy in mind, Beeple did this thing where he was releasing a piece of art every single day, right? Like if you're an artist or a writer or whatever, that's like something to do just to like increase, and you could do it with a website and kind of like, there's just all these ways to like kind of refine whatever your craft is, and then you're creating a body of work that you can use for your portfolio, right? Like, if you're an employer and you're looking to hire a graphic designer or someone that does art, and you get these applications in, but one guy's like, oh, here, like, yeah, I've been doing, like, I make a logo a day, I just make up a logo a day. And they're like, oh, that's cool. And they go to your website and they just see all these crazy logos. And they're like, oh, I love this guy. Let's hire him. But this is all, art of applying, all that. And my final point, and I think, like, everybody isn't designed. Actually, I don't believe that. I believe everyone could be a salesperson if they wanted to. The issue is not everybody really wants to. But like if you decided like let's say you got no sales skills, you fumble over words, you I don't know, you smell funny, your hair is bad, just everything's bad, but you're like, you know what, I want to master sales. You can master sales. Like 100, anybody can master sales. It might take time, a year, 2 years, depending on, what skill set and what your personality is like to begin with. But I'm just tacking, like, I'm kind of done with the original video. I'm tacking this on at the end. I think some of the best things you can invest in as an individual, especially in 2021, but it's just mastering the art of sales and mastering the art of marketing. When I say master these things, I'm just saying like refine it. You don't have to be a super master, but if you're better at these things than, other people, I'm getting a phone call. Oh, I don't hear my phone shaking. But if you're better at these things, I keep forgetting to put my phone in airplane mode when I do this stuff. But if you're better at these things than other people, that's going to just help you land more and better jobs. Because being a salesman, being able to sell yourself, that's what's happening with all this. You got to sell yourself, right? And then with marketing, being able to market yourself. That's what, like, you master these two things. So it's worth, like, you don't have to be a master, but keeping these things in mind and getting and refining them a little bit just for the job hunt. Now, what I want to say at the end here is if you decide to become a marketer or salesperson, like those are the awesome things about these two jobs is that, like with sales, like you have a direct economic impact on the company or place that you work for, which is, salespeople make a lot of money because they make the company a lot of money, right? So like getting into sales is great. Marketing is very similar, especially in 2021 and 2010, whatever. Like mastering the different marketing tools. The cool thing about marketing is you don't have to know how to do fucking Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and this and that thing, whatever. You can, again, this is what mastery is about. Dude, if you just master Twitter, or you just master YouTube, or you just master SEO, or you just, like that one skill, like will just get you paid all over the place. And I guess finally, like I'll name drop this dude just for fun. What's that guy's name? Ty Lopez. I know there's a period of time when fucking all of his my wife's calling over and over again. The house phone's gonna ring soon. Anyway, Ty Lopez was, he's one of these dudes that looks really shifty. Like he's always selling stuff or whatever. Like if you haven't seen his videos, like he's the kind of dude that'll have like a 5-minute long YouTube ad and tell you about how to make $1 million. But what's funny is going back to that story where I was getting paid $5 an hour. Can you hear that? When I was getting paid $5 an hour, the educational tools he gave me was Ty Lopez's social media marketing business course or whatever. So this guy was basically trying to start a new business off of this course. I took that course. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's very annoying. She's just yelling in the fucking answering machine. God damn it, Magda. Anyway, let me try to block that out. Let me stay centered. Anyway, the course was designed for a solopreneur, like so a single person. It broke down how to create a package to sell like digital advertising to small businesses. And God, she's calling there now. This is terrible. All I'm trying to say is, if you master marketing and selling, you can market and sell yourself. And if you get really good at like digital marketing at one specific tool or combinations of tools, you can either work for a company and do that for them, or you can sell that service to small businesses. And doing this thing where you're selling that service to small businesses, like just if you try to do that, you'll just learn so many things about sales and marketing and then doing the work, whatever. Anyway, my wife took me out of the game. I hope that's helpful, humble person. I hope that's helpful for anybody else. Like last thing, if you ever have a video you want me to shoot about something, or if you want to collaborate, someone just asked me about collaboration, just leave a comment, whatever. Love you guys. Stay safe during these trying times. I hope your family and everything is good. Love you. Peace.